Okay, so for this video walkthrough, we are going to go over automatic features for Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, this is important because you're going to be utilizing automatic features for your assignment 2, activity 1, which is the EMT assignment, as well as your personality presentation, which we will be going over this class. So, what are automatic features? Automatic features are basically editing tools that allow us to make edits or find things that need to be edited automatically. So, for example, there's three major automatic features: spell check, the thesaurus, and find and replace. So let's go over the spelling first. Now, we can find the spelling by clicking on the review tab. So we start on the home tab. If I click on the review tab, then it's going to give us all these options for review. To do spelling check, I would click on the check mark ABC that says spelling. I click on that, and then in the bottom box you're going to have this dialog box appear, and it will say what's not in the dictionary, and then it will give you some suggestions. So for this one, this is an example, so again that should be example. I can click ignore, which wouldn't be correct. I can click change or change all, so if anything is spelled like that, I can change all the mishaps. But for this case, since we only have one slide, I'm just going to click change. Okay, and then this other one is supposed to be slide, and again, so I'm just going to click change once because this is only one slide. If we had multiple slides and we knew that we misspelled it multiple times, change all would be suggested, but since it's only one slide, we're just going to do change. And then after you do it, it's going to say spelling check is complete. So the next thing we're going to show you to do is how to do a thesaurus. So right now you can see in this second bullet point, it says this is a blank example on a blank page for a blank presentation. We probably want to find some different words for blank. So we can keep blank example, but let's try to see what are some other words for blank. So in order to use the thesaurus, you have to highlight your word. So I'm going to highlight blank, and then I'm going to click on thesaurus, and then it's going to show up on this side. It's going to give me different kinds of suggestions. So what I'm going to say for this one, I'm going to say this is a blank example, just like what I want. So I'm just going to use plain. So let's say I like the word plain. I'm going to click on the arrow, and then it's going to say insert, copy, or look up. So if we wanted to look up more definitions, we would click look up, and then it's going to give us more suggestions for plain. So you can go further. But since we like plain, I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to click on the arrow again, and then I'm just going to click insert, and you can see that it automatically changed it to plain, so blank to plain. Now sometimes you have to make sure when you highlight it, you might have to do a space in between. So just to go through the same process, I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to click thesaurus. It's going to give me the same suggestions. I'm going to say, I'm going to look up vacant, see if there's any ones. And I like empty, so let's do empty, and then I have to make sure that I click a space. So always double check to make sure you have spaces in between your words. Now one thing with the thesaurus is that it doesn't automatically change any grammar issues. So for example, for an empty presentation is not proper grammar, so we have to make sure that we make it for an empty presentation. So last one is find and replace. Now find and replace, you're going to have to go to the home tab, and then you're going to see in the ribbon this box is going to say editing. So for example, let's say that I want to find all the times I say example. So I'm going to click find, and I'm going to click example, and you can see that it's automatically going to go to that one. So if let's say I'm looking for a word, I'm looking for maybe a name in my presentation, I click on the find button, I type in the word that I want to find, and then it will find all the examples of that word. Now let's say we want to replace example. So let's say we want to replace example with sample. So I click sample. I type in sample, and so what it's going to do now is it's going to replace the first example of example with sample. Okay, So I click replace, and notice how the first instance changes and it goes automatically to the next one. Now let's say that you have multiple ones that you have to replace. You can click replace all, and then it's going to say PowerPoint has finished searching the presentation, one replacement was made. Okay, and so again, like if you have, maybe you have to change a place in your personality presentation, you set it 10 times, instead of having to find and replace each one, you can just find one and then replace all of them. So it saves a lot of time and effort. After you're finished, you just click close and you're out of the box. So that's how you use automatic features, especially spell check, the thesaurus, as well as the find and replace function. Thank you.